It's always the quarterbacks who lead this thing off. So let me just run it down if you weren't with us on TV this morning. Trevor Lawrence going number 1 to the Jaguars. Zach Wilson going number 2 to the Jets. Mac Jones from Alabama going number 3 to San Francisco. He then has the Panthers trading up a spot to 7 to take Trey Lance, 7th overall, and that means Justin Fields from Ohio State is the 5th quarterback taken in this draft, according to this mock. And he has New England trading up to take him at number 11. And here is McShay with me live on the Goodyear Hotline. So first off, Todd, thank you for 2 hours of television this morning. That's all we did, basically, was talk about your mock draft, and it made it awfully easy. But I want to dive right into the start there, and that is why Mac Jones at 3 if you don't project him as the 3rd best quarterback in this draft?
Yeah, this is a tough call, Greeny. I have Mac Jones as the 5th quarterback in this class, behind Trevor Lawrence, behind Zach Wilson, behind Trey Lance, and behind Justin Fields. But the more and to be honest with you, when the trade initially happened, my first thought was, oh, this is a perfect spot for Trey Lance. He's coming from North Dakota State, playing the FCS level. They only played 1 game this past year. So he's going to come in kind of rusty, and he's only started 17 games in his college career. So you've got Jimmy Garoppolo there. He could be the bridge, if you will, as a rookie coming in from that FCS level without a lot of experience. But then I started talking to people in the league and some of our reporters who have great information. And the more I talked to people, the more I got Mac Jones really is a fit, and Kyle Shanahan loves what Mac Jones can do from an intelligence standpoint, understanding and processing defenses, and then from an accuracy standpoint. So while I thought Lance would be kind of an upgrade over what Kyle Shanahan has had at the quarterback position physically, because Lance is more athletic, he's got a bigger arm, and he can create after the initial play breaks down, Mac Jones may be the pick at number 3 simply because of what he can bring mentally, the leadership, the toughness, and then the accuracy as a passer.
It's fascinating. Again, McShay with me, Greeny, presented by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average. Before I work past 3 and into the fields of it all, I think we need to just reestablish that we are set at 1 and 2. So your friend and mine, McShay, Damian Woody, I'm sure you saw this, went on a Twitter freak out yesterday. It started with, I want violence on the TL today, and it just went from there. And essentially, if I were to sum up all of his tweets, he wrote, meaning to his listeners or his followers, none of you ever heard of Zach Wilson before this year, and you're ready to give up on Sam Darnold, who the Jets never gave any real chance for, and move on to Zach Wilson as though the future of the franchise hangs in the balance. So, Todd, he's right. No fan in the sport basically has seen Zach Wilson, but you have. You've analyzed every throw he's made. Is he clearly the 2nd best quarterback in this draft?
I think he is. I really do. And I say that because I think his feeling and instinct inside the pocket, his ability to move and create and extend, and then his ability to throw off platform. Everyone saw the pro day throw rolling to his left. I've seen 100 different throws that he's made over the last couple of years where he's forced out of the pocket, but he keeps his eyes downfield. He's off balance. He changes his arm angle, and he throws a perfect strike down the field. And if you look at him statistically and even from the analytics, versus pressure, versus the blitz, and on 21-plus yard throws down the field, he's 2nd in all 3 of those categories of this year's quarterback class behind Mac Jones. So he can handle pressure, he's tough and can hang in there, and he can throw accurately down the field, which is what you're looking for in a quarterback. Now, what makes it difficult, Greeny, is that you're basing a lot of the evaluation off of 8 or 10 teams that they played this past year, where they're just not up to the level of what Mac Jones faced at Alabama or what Justin Fields faced at Ohio State. So that makes it tricky because your eyes can deceive you to a certain degree. But I will be shocked if we get to draft night, first night of the draft on Thursday, and if the number 2 overall pick is not Zach Wilson from BYU. And the Jets, I think, more so today than ever, are likely to take him at number 2. But if not, it will be a team like Carolina maybe moving up from 8 to 2 to go get that quarterback.
Got it. And you will be on ABC's coverage that night. And so when they do that, when the Jets do make him the 2nd pick, Will you say it was the right, taking the entirety of the organization and the franchise into account, will you say it was the right decision?
Here's the thing, Greeny. I'm a big believer in Sam Darnold. I think he can still be a very good starting quarterback in the NFL. But if you're Joe Douglas, you're the scouting staff, and you're the coaching staff who have been with him in the building and have seen what has gone on, they have more information in terms of where his confidence level is. You know, I know there was frustration in terms of the turnovers and some of the risky plays that he made, but you also have to factor in, and as they certainly have, that there just hasn't been any talent around him. I mean, Jamison Crowder's probably been the best receiver that they've had during his tenure there. And they haven't had consistency at running back or tight end or any difference makers. So it may take Sam moving somewhere else and getting a fresh start, new scenery in order to have success in the league. If they wind up sticking with Sam and moving out of that spot and getting another first-round pick, then I think that would be a good decision. But if they think, based off their internal evaluation of Sam, that they need to move on and save a lot of money moving forward, too. Don't forget that part. Because if you bring in a rookie, it's a heck of a lot less money than what you're going to have to pay Sam for the next 5 years. I would understand it. And also the big question then becomes, do they trade Sam prior to the draft, during the draft, or after the draft? And I would think it would be prior to the draft because you probably have the most leverage at that point. But we'll see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about here yesterday, Todd McShay with me, is the possibility that if it really is true, as Diana was saying, that they may be looking at a third-round pick or a conditional 4 for him, that maybe you hold on to him until someone has an injury or something like that, and we'll see. All right, let me get one more thing with you quickly, McShay, and that is Fields falling and becoming the 5th quarterback in this draft. We've all seen him play huge in big games, show extraordinary toughness in that game against Clemson when he got hit so hard and threw 6 touchdowns afterwards. We saw him at his pro day run a 4.40. His measurables yesterday, his height, weight, and size, or his speed, his height, weight, and speed add up to being comparable to Saquon Barkley, for crying out loud. So why? Why is he falling and becoming the 5th quarterback in this class?
It's basically all situational. You know, I thought Trey Lance would be the perfect fit at number 3. And I also went against the grain and put Kyle Pitts, the Florida tight end, who's a once-in-a-decade type of tight end prospect, to Atlanta at number 4, thinking that Matt Ryan's there for at least 1, maybe 2 more years. So Atlanta could easily stay at 4 and take a quarterback, and that could be Fields or it could be Lance. And if Lance winds up going 3, then it more than likely would be Fields if Atlanta takes a quarterback at 4. So, and again, I have Mac Jones as the 5th best quarterback in this class. I'm just going in this mock draft based on the information that I'm getting. So if Mac Jones goes 3 and Atlanta goes tight end at 4 with Pitts, then you kind of bump down. You've got Carolina sitting at 8, who I'm trading up 1 spot to go get Trey Lance. And then after that, the next team that's really needy, Denver at 9 could possibly be in the market. And then after that, it's New England at 15, and they haven't drafted a first-round quarterback in Bill Belichick's era, if you will. But they also had Tom Brady for the vast majority of it.
Right.
So I could see them, doing something different this year and maybe moving up to go get a quarterback. And that's why I had them moving up from 15 to 11 to get Fields. Listen, Fields is the most physically gifted quarterback in this class in terms of height, weight, speed, athleticism, and arm strength. And accuracy, too. He is very accurate. It's just about the fact that everything was the first read, and he had great receivers. And a team did a study. Over 200 throws were to his first read this past year. Only 7 of them were when he had to progress, if you will, from that first look to the second look. And so it's not saying that he can't. It's a lot about the system and the talent he had around him, but it's something that he's going to have to prove and maybe improve upon at the next level.
We will see. McShay, it's outstanding today. I'll call you later about a whole bunch of this stuff. Thanks so much for jumping in here. I'll see you soon.
You got it, bud.